All right. Welcome as we are back in Thursday and beginning to have here. Last time we had some deaths, but ultimately a victory as from those who have played until last remained the last one standing while Lunara was laying down a little bit and taking a nap. But as do that, and but it seems that the undermine has been entirely secured, from what you can tell, within, and though through a bit of a loss of friends, you do have it. So, currently, yes, we have Lunara, Kim, Talisk, and Livia. What were some of your the first things you were attempting to do?
Is Lunara still unconscious on the ground?
Yep.
Olivia is going to go up and cure wounds on Lunara.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's 10 points of healing.
You see, well, two things. One, Talisk is kind of in like this state of shock and is slightly unfocused. You do see that there's just this like blood running down from taking a massive tail swipe to the head. Looks possibly concussed. He's just like, I should clean that up. I made a mess. It's gonna take a while, but I'll clean it up.
First drink this, and I'll go clean it up.
Drink what?
This. It's alcohol. Just drink it. You need it.
Okay.
And Cam will go clean up the mess.
You see that Talisk was like motioning towards the giant dinosaur lizard creature that's in the hole when he was talking.
Yeah. Hey, well, I guess I'm gonna butcher it because I don't know how to really skin it. So yeah, we'll just do this. It's fine.
Lenara will sit up and kind of look around and try and figure out what's going on, what happened, since she went down pretty quickly, so she doesn't know everything.
Yeah, Talisk is, because we left a whole lot of bodies of people in the main tavern room, and Talisk is kind of like moving them off to one side. Just still in a bit of a daze.
Separating the bodies out a bit.
I guess finding that salt shaker and things like that.
As you find a shaker, you actually see, closer looking at it, you can unscrew it, and there is a lens that is inserted within it. That seems to be the source of its power.
Oh.
And as you have your time here, it seems to be the lens that causes the effect that you observed, and the shaker itself was just like something to hide that.
Oh. Just to be sure, if I spent the time to identify it, would it give me any more information?
Good. In fact, ultimately, a bit of a retcon, because I think I said ultimately they can only be used once a day, actually. But these come back as silences. I will get that into the loop here.
PSY?
PSI.
PSI.
Don't go Babylon 5 on me.
I think Lunara looking around will kind of put two and two together about what happened. Won't really bring it up since Flask seems very out of sorts. But she'll just spend like a minute or so with each of the companions, just kind of in a way saying goodbye.
As this happens, there is a silvery gray light that begins filling the room.
Yo, it's fucking Palin again, you guys.
As you hear system message from administrator. And in a monotone silhouette, you see Palin, the one had put you in at first, who looks in and... Is this thing on? It is. Okay. System users. Unfortunately, some of you weren't as skilled as I hoped you would be, and you have let yourselves be killed. I'm sorry to say that this is permanent. However, I have made sure there are contingencies for these types of things, and generally I'm aware that there can be emotion over these types of happenings. There are attachments that usually are fairly inconvenient that people make, no matter what it might cost them later, unfortunately. So you might have these types of things currently. But when you are ready to receive the contingency, please let me know, as I imagine the things forward would not do well should you attempt to go with your reduced number. It starts to kind of go away for a moment, then it kind of comes back. If you're feeling lost, I'm sorry for it.
Well, at least he had an afterthought of it.
Think he's a robot.
Something.
So what do you think he meant by contingency?
I think he means we're pawns, and if we die, he's just going to put new pawns into the game.
Oh. Okay.
I believe that is a fine assessment of what would probably happen. Yes.
I kind of want to punch him in the face next time we see him, but I won't hit him anyways. Trask, here's half your arrows.
What?
All the stuff you shot at that guy, here's half of it back.
I don't shoot. Okay, thanks.
No, I don't know whose arrows these are. Cam might be a little drunk, guys. Give him a break.
Okay. Wait, so okay, if I'm understanding it, the Palin person is gonna send us more people?
Yes.
Like straight here, or do we have to go find them?
Yeah, how exactly are we supposed to let him know? Do we have like a little menu that pops up? Oh wait, we've had menus pop up before. That might happen.
I'd like to query the server.
Oh, the text appears blue. Are you ready for contingency?
Yes.
All right, he's the new leader, guys. He's answered the questions.
Uh-oh.
And there is a now 2 gray light forms begin to start to take effect as a third form showing the image of Palin once more. This message I'm recording, if you've taken less than an hour to mourn your losses, seems like you have. Good for you. I obviously have not chosen weak-willed people who would take more than that, so good for you. These 2 have been rigorously selected by myself and have been stored in case of such an occurrence. Be warned, their perception of when they left and you left might be a bit different, depending on various things, how long I've had them in there. We gotta pause this, like, yes, who did I go? I lost the order of who I inserted when, so at any rate, they have passed the most rigorous of tests, so they should be good for whatever it is that you need to do. The wet component of what we were trying to do, of course, is limited by circumstance and budget and these types of things. So please try not to be so careless in the future. Thank you for being a part of this. Goodbye.
Welcome. Oh, okay, bye.
And
Do you think when he says vigorous or rigorous, he means like they didn't die when he collapsed the city?
They were just standing around somewhere.
Yeah, like they were just in the marketplace trying to pick pockets, and wow, now they're in it.
But if he said that they could be from a different, like, how far? He said they could be from a different point than we were. Like, how far does that reach? Like, before us? By years? After us? By days?
Does time work here the same as they did that, or were we in like that loading screen for years?
How would we know?
I don't think we would.
And with that, the 2 gray forms begin to materialize. And Ursa and Mason, you can introduce yourselves.
Oh shit, move the bodies. He's gonna land on it.
When Ursa materializes, like she has her arm like already at the ready to punch something, just like, and she is tall, like really, really tall. Like almost 7 feet tall. So she's like probably towering over some of you. And she's like, I didn't expect so many of you to be short.
I'd be insulted, but I get it.
It's amazing you came in with any expectations at all.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Means we didn't know what to expect when we got here, period. So we had no expectations. But you clearly have expectations.
Most of them were theoretical. Like, he said there were trustworthy warriors. But most of the warriors I know are my size.
Hmm.
Oh,
Are those dead people carrying dead people?
No.
Oh, well, yes.
yeah, they're doing their best.
Right.
I hope you don't have any feelings against dead people.
I don't really know many dead people.
Oh, maybe I can introduce you to some that I know.
That sounds fun. And Ursa looks like really like, will it be fun? Are they going to eat me fun? I don't know.
So, Molly, I need a number. How tall is Ursa in actuality?
I'd say she is 7 feet. We'll just go with 7 feet.
Okay. So you're slightly taller than me.
Ah,
Because next to you in breathable gi, you see a 6'9" elk folk with horns that then make him taller than you. Probably pushing like 7'6", 7'8" at the height of his horns, and just a quarterstaff kind of like held at the ready, looking around, making sure that there's no actual danger about, not really paying any mind to the dead or undead walking about.
I dodge your horns. Watch it, buddy. You could take an eye out with those things.
Yes, I could, but I prefer to use my hands or my staff. Palin didn't tell me who you all are. I'm Mason.
Ursa.
Did he give you more than 5 minutes of time before you got here?
He didn't knock you out with a fireball and put you on a table?
No.
I negotiated coming here with Palin. What? That's wait, are you not here of your own volition?
Well, we were dying because of the fireball, and it was either die there or come here.
So you owed him a life debt.
No,
No.
considering it was his fault for the fireball.
Where are you all from?
Iman?
Luke, you're muted, bud. You keep trying to talk.
He's just over here just mumbling to himself. Iman.
That's on Taldore, yes?
Yes.
Yep. Where are you from?
Wildmount.
Oh. You too, Ursa?
No, I'm from just outside of Amon.
Oh.
I was in the city and let's just say there wasn't a lot left.
Of the city?
Of the marketplace.
That sounds
Oh.
familiar.
Yeah. Did you see all the shadow creatures?
You were there too.
Yeah. And then the ground caved in and we all fell.
That didn't happen to me.
Oh.
I perhaps went a bit feral.
But
You do that a lot.
Not a lot. I was separated.
You see me slowly shift to like 10 feet away from Ursa, and I'm now holding my quarterstaff pointed at Ursa.
I was separated from my cubs.
Oh.
So how did you end up here?
I negotiated with Palin for their safety.
What won't that guy use for leverage?
I'm guessing
himself,
himself.
probably. Yeah.
He was very reasonable when negotiating with me. I don't understand your... I'm not sure I believe you all's portrayal of him.
Why would we lie? We're here doing his stuff, regardless of how we got here. Why would we lie about how we met him?
Perhaps you are ashamed of what you had to negotiate.
What
Our
did you have
choice
to negotiate?
was to die there or come here and live. That's what it was. There's no lying there. So I'm glad you all got to negotiate how you got here. We didn't even know where here was, that here existed, until we were lying on slabs going, you could either stay here and die, or you can go into this place and live.
To be fair, I still don't know where we are.
I don't really know where we are either.
Do I know where we are?
I don't know where we are.
That's Jonathan
Speaking
asking Matt.
Did Palin tell you why
You're muted, Matt.
we're here?
Well, he gave us all of 5 minutes to mourn our lost comrades, and then was like, here's some new comrades.
Well, so this is the kingdom of Jakul. We're in an underground base below the city. We just it was full of the kind of the criminal organization that kind of controlled the nefarious goings on of the city, and we decided to replace them.
That's
Sort
the
of.
best part.
And the plan for doing that consisted of clearing out what was there, and that was it. That was the extent of the plan so far, which we accomplished.
Despite our short size.
Yeah. We worked together. But it wasn't without some loss on our end. And
To
now
answer your question, I negotiated resources for my family in exchange for assisting Palin with the saving of this and potentially other worlds. Is that the same objective that he put forth to you?
Yes.
Yeah, to just try and save this place would possibly help save other places, is my vague understanding of what we're doing here.
But we still didn't get a choice.
What?
I mean, ultimately, we chose. We did choose. Because there's who's going to choose death? No offense.
I think she chose undeath, technically.
I mean, yeah.
Valid point.
Let's see.
Listen, we are all not getting off on a great foot.
Yes,
I'm sorry. This
I
is a
introduced
we
myself
came in
and
at a
haven't
very
heard your
bad
name.
time for us.
Trying to think if there's some important things you guys should probably know before venturing elsewhere.
We're the underground now.
Yeah, sort of
He's
our
our leader.
the commander Gringen is one of our only friends in the city.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't trust anybody else for now, because the only other guy that we really know, I think he might still be in prison. Yeah, and his name is Frederick. Now that we've cleared this place out, we might put it on the list to check and see how that guy's doing.
Hey, do you think this means we don't have to pay for hotels anymore?
Yeah, probably.
We could just stay here.
Yeah.
I believe that was the point. Was to stay here after we cleared it out, at least for a bit.
Right. We gotta lay low.
I'll say again, I am Mason, and I still have not heard your names.
Because I was muted.
What
It
is
was
this
an emotional
muted you speak
response
of?
to what happened.
My name is Talisk.
My name is Olivia Varen.
I'm Cam.
And I'm Lunara.
Cam, why do you look so different from the others?
Hey, I don't.
The rest have humanoid faces. And you have a bill.
You know what? I happen to like my bill.
Is it fair to assume this is not your natural forms? The process did not allow me to assume a visage of myself.
Yeah, apparently there was a screen where you could choose things, but I missed that part.
Yeah, I kind of chose this. I also picked a thing that lets me look like whatever I want. And I will shape change to look like Mason, except I believe shorter. I don't think it can change your height enough to match his. But just for a second, it's like ta-da, and then I'll go back.
That is most impressive.
Oh, thanks.
It is good to meet you all.
Wait, are we gonna get into a fight? Because I could change form too.
Oh, I hope not.
You can.
Yeah, see? Arr, and then I turn human.
Is that the more dangerous of your forms?
Yes. I'll let you out a secret. I really can't hit shit.
Are you a spellcaster then?
Nope.
We just need some training. That's all.
Look, give me a lock, I'll pick it. Have me sneak in, I sneak in. Ask me to kill? Apparently not very good at it.
Perhaps you are using the wrong weapon.
No, pointy end go in and you shoot.
Perhaps you would do better with fists.
No, the last time someone punched me, I got really bad and I saw a hell dinosaur.
I'm sorry,
Also,
a what?
if I question any of your abilities, are you gonna hulk out and punch me in the face?
I look to Ursa. I look down at my frame. What is this Hulk out you speak of?
Like, are you gonna get really, really mad and have your nostrils flare and your eyes all squinty and then punch me in the face?
Oh no. When I go feral, I'm more teeth and claw.
Oh, okay.
Good to know.
Bite you in the face, but not punch you in the face.
But will you do it if I question your abilities?
No. I will
Okay.
simply prove you wrong.
Bye.
Hulking out and ripping out my throat?
No. By intending to... By succeeding in what I claim I can do.
Are you trying to come to your end, Cam? Because if you die here, you do in fact die. Palin was very explicit about that.
I would thought he wasn't.
What if he was lying?
You think your friend's there, or
I can dare to dream.
I suppose that's true.
And Cam is merely recalling past experiences. So she's trying to make sure that if that were the case, then she would question your abilities.
Yeah, because last time it almost killed me, and I saw stars, and there was a dinosaur, and I don't want to repeat it.
I just remembered what you're talking about. I forgot that was the actual mechanic. You're free to have whatever opinion you wish of me. So what mission were you all attempting to finalize?
And so using the blot action, I will tell them loosely about upsetting the king and about the daughter and the wife, and then talking to the captain or the commander, and deciding, well, if we destroy the criminal organization trying to kill us, then they can't kill us, right?
Have you finished sweeping this base to ensure it's been cleared?
I haven't found any other doors, but we haven't had time to look for secret ones yet.
But you have in fact walked the entirety of it to ensure there aren't more enemies?
I've been in all the rooms I found. Yes. There was like the tavern upstairs, and then the secret door down to the second one, and then there was another tavern, and then there was two rooms where they were betting on molar races. Like they were, we interrupted something. I'm not sure what was going on there. And then there was a room with a big fountain and a guy with a backpack on that shot electricity or something like that. And
there's something about the fountain, but the alcohol is really good in the taverns, and I don't quite remember.
And then there was this tavern, which I think is like the third tavern room in this place. And then that room back there that had that giant thing sleeping in it, along with a lot of stuff that. Real quick, Matt, is the stuff you posted what was in that room with the
Yes.
giant lizard? Okay. Along with a bunch of stuff in there that I haven't taken a closer look at yet.
We also haven't looted any of the bodies. I've tried to cut up this monstrosity, but if any of you have skill in that, be my guest.
She, and I point at the I think it was a dwarven-esque woman that was the leader. It's like, she had this on her. It had a lens in it, and it lets you, I think, teleport to that big chair right there.
Then the next step is to contact this Commander Gringen, yes?
I think so. Let her know that we were successful.
You all do
And
look
there
like
was
you could use a
supposed to lay
rest.
low.
though.
What?
You all look like you could use a rest.
That would be nice, yeah.
Ursa kind of like goes over to you and kind of looks down at like the what was it, an amulet?
I think it's a. Are you talking about the lens?
The thing that teleports you to the chair.
Yeah, the silence is
Yeah.
what it was, but it was like hidden inside a salt shaker.
Fascinating. I wonder how if distance is a factor in its teleportation ability.
Well, I was looking at it earlier, and I think like there's another lens that matches this one, possibly inside that chair. But when you have one and you focus on it, it can teleport you to the other one.
Like the calling of twins.
Yeah. I didn't really get a limit on distance as long as you were on the same plane.
It's about this time. All begin to receive. Claim the underworld. Quest completed. Congratulations. You have completed quest. Stand by for rewards. As
Yeah, pop-up boxes sometimes appears.
and you begin to get this sense here that it is localized to you all, and comes up first. Area known as the Undermine. Obtained. Bonus, you are official owners of this area. As such, locks have been changed to your keys as small keys appear in your hands. Bonus quest. Establish your new criminal family within the city. Rival organizations having more notoriety than you will cause this quest to fail. You have 2 failed quests. Warning, should there be a third, there will be punishment.
Wait, that didn't go away. It's just, we can't ever fail another quest. Oh, no.
Query. To clear negative quest log, a major quest must be completed.
Like taking over an underground evil base?
System is not yet upgraded to provide a major quest.
Oh.
Additional rewards. Your power levels will be increased. As there is a surge, and you guys do go up a level.
Oh, yeah. That is neat.
Okay, I may need to be walked through this once if you all have already done this before.
What's up?
This Gestalt levels. What do we do? Who's what?
So you just get the one ASI essentially. So just do whatever you do for the one, just put it on the same thing for the other one. Because essentially what it does is it makes that each one from a class can give you a +1 to a stat essentially. So it's effectively just like you're ignoring the other one from the other class. But you can still do, feats or +1, +1 or +2 to one thing or.
Does that mean we need to commit crimes?
Please say yes. Please say yes. Please say yes.
So we are criminals.
Why is there a quiver in your voice? You raise the dead. Is that not a crime in and of itself?
That's recycling. Rude.
Well, that's just the practice of rigorous necromantic arts. I don't think that hurt anyone necessarily, and yeah.
Are the bodies you
doing
claim
crimes is different?
ethically sourced? Have you asked permission from the family of the dead to use them in such a manner?
Oh, well, you see, they were trying to kill us really eagerly, so I thought it would be okay. And then, those were our friends as well, and I think they would be okay with it. And they don't really have any family within Lux, so...
See, what happened was...
About the crime thing. I mean, I think we can do what we want there. We don't have to commit crime, but we just can't let another criminal organization gain a better reputation than us for crime. Does that, if I understood?
Wait. When we started this whole thing, did you not understand that we would be taking over a syndicate of crime?
What?
Why are you
ruining all my fun?
No, I understood. I was just saying that how are we going to save this place via crime? If saving this place is our end objective.
Was that your objective?
I think so.
Oh.
Listen, the guy that you think is great told us, hey, some of the things you do here could potentially help the world out there. He didn't say what we needed to do, how we needed to do them, or how long it would take to do them. So we are just acquiring quests and trying to complete them.
For the record, I will remind you that had we just gone and stolen something, it would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, maybe.
And look, you are now the head of a family. Granted, it is an underground. You have to take responsibility and let us break some laws.
Oh, okay.
There's a little window that pops up. Family name, family head.
you Talos' eyes get super wide and he just pulls down his goggles. So you can't read his expression as well. He kind of pulls up his scarf a little bit. Okay. I guess as a group, we should just collectively decide our goal, like our personal goal that we're doing here. Like, because this kingdom is kind of in a tough place, right? Like, they're getting bullied from other kingdoms. They're not even considered to be well graded. Like, there's a whole system that they have apparently grading kingdoms based on what they can contribute in their economy. And this kingdom is pretty low in the rankings, if I'm understanding it correctly.
If I may, have you gathered any information of the wider world to see if there's potentially a problem there that might be the primary focus of what Palin wanted you to do? Or have you focused solely on this one small kingdom?
I'm sorry. Do you know what we're doing here? Did Palin give you an idea of like, hey, you go to this town and you do this thing?
No,
You know,
he
you two have
expected.
arrived and have been pretty judgy of what we've been doing, and you've only been here for 5 minutes.
Whoa, hold on. Let's refocus. Primary goal. We're all here now. We're all trying to get the same thing done so that we can not die, or some of us and other. Anyway, the what we know about the other kingdoms is very little, because up until this point, we've just been trying to survive for the most part. We haven't been here that long. I think this is like our third day. But yeah, there are other kingdoms. Oh, this kingdom in particular has this big kind of sacred preserve, bunch of exotic creatures in it, like owlbears, and that's kind of their main export. I don't know if that consider anyway. That's the only thing that's keeping this place on the map. Otherwise, I think the other kingdoms would come and like chop it up and take the land. It is my understanding.
You said you've been here for only 3 days.
I think so.
Then you've done much better than what was portrayed, to have already established yourself as the new criminal underground. Perhaps now with the resources you can claim, we can see if we can gather more information of the wider world of this place to see if there is a grand quest that needs to be taken.
Yeah. What are you all's thoughts on kind of working with Commander Gringen? Like, she's been pretty straightforward with us so far, and she helped us find this place, and she also didn't turn us over and put us in prison earlier when she could have.
You've already established a connection to someone that can legalize what you're doing, so to speak. I wouldn't turn that away.
Okay. So we're all good with staying friends with Commander Gringen?
That was the plan.
I was just making sure that the new people were on the same page.
I'm good with it.
Yes, Captain.
Okay.
So you're legal criminals.
If that makes you feel better, yes.
Then does that make you...
As part of the reminder, too, currently, if the king should perish, there is no heir currently to take over, so that the control of the sanctuary would revert. That was one concern, and therefore not be the protective nature of the country.
Right.
Because you allowed her to be killed.
We didn't allow shit.
That's one way of phrasing it.
Well, you had an escort quest that you did not do successfully because your escort was killed.
You could have said you didn't succeed in your escort quest, not because you let her get killed. But sure.
So yeah, I quickly fill them in on the death of the princess and the sudden lack of heir to the throne and the foreign queen that has been moving in. And about the gems that recorded what happened, and that information is somewhere unknown to us, unless maybe, yeah, I don't think we found that. That'd be too fortunate for us to find that information here. The recording gems on the other end, wherever it got sent. And I'm probably forgetting something really important, but when it comes to me, I'll let you guys know.
Perhaps this queen is seeking to encroach upon the territory.
Yeah, she definitely wants something. And she's been using...
Her body language.
Yep. It was, there was a really important name, Velisk. That holds some weight and and importance, but we're not entirely sure what it is, and use the name sparingly, because it could get you into trouble if said around the wrong people. But just also keep your ears open for if you hear somebody mention that name, so we can get some leads maybe, because it sounded like that guy or that girl or whoever Velisk is important.
And I tell him the queen's name is Starfer, but that something about them not allowed to be like they're not allowed to say her actual name or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
Only royal blood.
Yep.
People of royal blood can actually say her name.
Right, that's
allowed to say her name, something like that.
And she's the Queen of Altuman.
It's just referred to her as the High Queen.
Yeah.
Because her kingdom is at a higher rank than this kingdom.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, so I think rest up, go talk to the commander, see if it's possible to get Frederick out of prison. Is that something we want to do?
I suppose if he's still there.
Oh yeah, they were going to ship him out, weren't they?
Did we take over this whole place so that we could make sure we could reunite him with his wife? Because we sort of maybe messed up that mission.
Yeah, hopefully.
That is not why we did it.
Well, I mean, no, but it could be like a happy accident.
I mean, it would be great if that worked, yes, but I'm just saying that's not the reason we did it.
Right.
We did it because we were screwed, and this was one of the three options to get out of that position.
Because you had already betrayed this criminal organization. You had become traitors because of what you did to the kingdom. So you had a bunch of things, and they were like, because you need to somehow be somewhere where, and so they kind of were like, take over this, and then we could probably not have to kill you, and I can run cover.
So as far as what to do next, I attempt to rest here before going and talking to the commander is my suggestion.
Yeah, what's due next is we have to come up with a family name and a leader. That box is still floating in front of you.
I'm trying to ignore
it. Hand passes right through it. It's still there.
Yeah.
You turn left, you turn right, it follows you.
You got to mentally minimize it.
And also, before you do that, if you guys want, you can go ahead and decide on your bastion and such things as well.
Cool.
So in the bastion, is there a main function that we assign to it?
You pick, I think, 2 rooms to start off.
Okay. And the rooms, are they the special facilities list?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking Warcaster.
Nice.
Shine.
I boosted wisdom and took Shillelagh as my third cantrip.
I also boosted wisdom.
Oh man.
I'm going to take garden.
I haven't even updated my next level yet.
Do we pick 2 rooms for all of us, or do each of us get 2 rooms?
So theoretically, one person is in charge of this one, and then they would get 2 rooms.
Oh.
But obviously, everyone can sort of use that as be a whole thing. But as far as like, that's right, it'd basically be that family head position. And then as you get other areas, you can collect the bastions.
I see. And am I understanding correctly that Talisk has been made head of this particular bastion? Or is that still up?
I think the players made that decision.
The system has not made the decision.
Okay.
So the system has not, but if you guys...
Hey, the survivors say yes.
Okay. That's fine with me. I just didn't want to assume that that's what it was.
I still vote that you name the family the Underminers. Because I like that Incredibles joke.
If we're going to be a criminal organization, we need something that strikes fear into the hearts of other criminal organizations.
So yeah, so since you're a level 4, you start with 2 basic facilities. And then you can add basic facilities if you want with gold. As level 5, you get special facilities.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Thank you, baby.
And so this will represent sort of what you've been able to sort of like keep moving and such things. So
Gotcha. So I see. Are there rooms that this base already has?
there is essentially a kitchen, dining room,
A lot of bars,
and kind of like parlors and bars. Yeah, just nothing special.
Okay.
So if they have storage, so it does come with storage as well. Then incidentally, that deed somebody could take as another bastion at this point, because you got a deed to a house.
Oh,
if you look,
I read deed and I thought it was this place, but I see what you mean now.
and you can decide how you want to play that.
Mm.
And that will contain some things that will come with most of what it will come with. But you can take your long rest if you want.
Cool.
So those are the facilities that come with the house. What would you like to do next?
I definitely think catch up with the commander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if I need to name this place before going to talk to her. I'm so bad at picking names, guys. You don't know how long I spent on the customization screen when we were making these avatars, trying to figure out a name. I do have an idea that just came to me, though.
Okay.
Parabellum.
I don't know what that means.
So I don't remember exactly which of the other races' language. It means prepare for war.
Oh, okay, sure. I like it.
It works for me.
It sounds imposing.
Assuming anybody knows what it means.
Well, hopefully the people that don't are too embarrassed to ask and just assume it's intimidating.
Or it's a lesson we can teach them.
Yeah. We leave one survivor.
Very scary.
I read it in a book once.
I think you have to confirm the name.
Oh, right. And I'll try and figure out how to confirm Parabellum as the name.
Parabellum. Please wait. Name accepted.
All right.
Who's listed as leader?
Talisk.
Currently accessing system resources. Parabellum, a field criminal organization led by the killer Talisk.
That's me, the killer Talisk.
Sounds right to me.
Oh. Okay.
What would you like to do?
Meet with Commander Gringen.
How would you like to go about this?
Talisk and Lunara leading the way, because Mason has no idea where he is.
Honestly, neither does Cam. I never went there.
There's a slight problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
We're wanted.
Yep.
So
I can.
Can you describe this person?
I mean, Talisk could potentially change and take you and bring her back.
I mean,
What
yeah,
did
I can just-
Olivia and Ursa have?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I could perhaps have an animal send a message.
Yeah, that's better than what I have. I just can send a really short message to her.
I thought you were going to send a disguised undead.
Well, we can do that too.
Just have a little skeleton shambling down the road.
Just Bellaman's body.
I mean, yeah, I can make myself look like just a random tavern goer and take the commander a message to meet in the tavern upstairs. Then we can all be there for it if we want.
Oh, here's a question. Do Ursa and I have that aura of the Heartless Murderer?
It would have come up on your screen as you've officially joined.
Okay.
Notice you gain the effects of Aura of Heartless Murderer.
You would have to describe her in depth, seeing as I have not met this commander.
If we wanted to use an animal messenger.
Correct.
I mean, we can give it a shot because Animal Messenger is pretty cool for like an underground organization, right? They're like, oh, they can just send messages via animal. It'll like throw out our reputation. What are the odds that the Animal Messenger gets lost and delivers the message to someone else?
It depends on how good you are at describing this person, because I would have to describe it to the animal.
Oh, right. I just realized that I might not understand what Animal Messenger means. Like, do I write a note and like put it in the animal's mouth and they deliver it? Like, do we tie it to their leg like a carrier pigeon?
No.
Can we?
Through magic, the animal speaks with my voice.
Oh, shit. That's unnerving. Okay.
And I will do my best to describe to Ursa what Commander Grimkin looks like.
Yeah, I think you can do this. It's not a
Okay.
overly difficult task.
Can't you just change yourself to look like her so that you don't have to describe her?
Oh, yeah.
You have the physical minor image. You could just be her.
Yeah.
Or
Why
minor
did I do
image.
that?
Yay!
It looks like this.
I'm just imagining we go all the way up the stairs to like the entrance. I find a bird. I ask the bird to find a person that looks exactly like this person.
Oh, I should turn back.
It just
Or
runs
you can
around
pick
your
this up.
feet.
You're like, but wait! Now go.
But in
Christ.
town.
So what is the message that we are sending?
Are we asking her to come like visit us out here or at the inn?
Perhaps you should affirm that you've taken the
Right.
undermine.
Right. So the message is going to be
25 words or less.
Operation Successful. Please visit us at the... I think I wrote it.
Think I wrote it down.
Yeah,
Here,
right.
12.
Back Beak Break Tavern. Is it,
No, we don't want to go there.
You want her to come here?
That's not this place.
Is that the wrong? Oh, it's the Ironstein mine.
Yeah.
That's right.
I tell the bird that.
Okay. A bit of time goes by, and you do hear a door call and heavy plate boots, a voice. Hello?
Does it sound like her?
Yes.
Yeah, I will go up to meet the commander. It's me, Task.
Okay.
Sorry, I realized after I sent that message that we didn't have like a code phrase to make sure that there was all clear.
Yeah,
That
it's
might be a little unnerving.
you certainly did that very quickly.
Well, time was of the essence, we thought.
Right. So, I've heard of your family, Vicious. Arabellum.
Yeah.
Oh. The rumors are you are a tier 1 family. Others, so it might be rough roads, but this at least gets us started.
Yeah. Well, is there I guess from here on out, what's the best way to communicate with you if meeting in person is too dangerous?
I didn't realize you had animal slaves. That would work out fine if you set another one of those.
Okay. Is there like a place you would prefer meeting instead of here so that you're not constantly seeing coming here?
Yes, this was hard. I can't send anything back. For now, until I send word otherwise, we shall meet. This is so interesting.
Matt, can I show her the deed and ask her if she knows where the house is?
Oh, yes, she looks. You own this.
We do now.
You have the deed, of course. If you can present a different face. What's nice about here was everyone came and gambled, but now everyone knows that this has been violently taken over by the murderous Parabellum.
Have you met our new companions? They got new faces.
I assumed there might have been people you showed mercy to. They're official companions.
Let's go with that.
So no mercy?
Yeah, no mercy.
So I've heard. Okay.
Hey, he's a very good captain, but he's a little bloodthirsty.
So if you are, we can. She kind of writes on a corner alley a little bit. She's like, that can be our place right now, but you will need to, if you can, establish some place where it is not unusual for any of us to be.
Right. And another idea I had is if you arrive at whoever arrives first at the meeting place, maybe they take a lantern and they light it and put it in the window so that the other one knows it's safe to approach.
Oh, so if we saw someone with no lantern up, that's a problem.
Right.
But hopefully we see a person.
Yeah.
That would require there being a window.
Right.
Or we were talking about an alley, maybe just like at the corner of the alley before you actually go
Right.
into it.
She's thinking, she's like, great, but if I don't see anyone, then I keep closer, then I see you. But now I have approached, and it's not safe. So now and even though it's not safe to approach, you just stand there.
Are there not lanterns within
Not
the
safe.
alleys or at the street?
No,
corners?
that's not the problem. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm just trying to think of a way to signal that it was okay to meet.
So how about we'll do it this way? I or my representative will be around. If we don't see a lantern, we won't get close.
Oh yeah, that's good. So you'll wait for us to get there first, and
That's
we'll
it.
light the lantern, and then
Yes.
good idea.
Ursa's off to the side, still hung up on the animal slaves part. Like the bird that sent the message has flown back, is on her hand, and she's talking to it like, "Tweet, you're not my slave, right? You delivered my message because I asked you nicely, right?"
Ursa's having a whole breakdown.
That's sort of like,
Immediate
well,
existential crisis.
you actually took control of my whole body, implanted your consciousness in mine a little bit, and then made me do the thing.
But I gave you food and asked you nicely first.
But I didn't say yes.
I'm very sorry for taking over your consciousness, Tweet.
Only because you couldn't talk yet.
I admit I was a little too hasty there.
It's bird brain. Okay. Food and then consent. Then message next time.
Would you like more seeds?
Yes.
And I give Tweet, I pull out this big pile of sunflower seeds that I just happen to have.
Was that in your inventory selection instead of a bag of caltrops as a bag of sunflower seeds?
I always carry seeds. I have Druidcraft.
Nice.
Okay. So we have our signal. So
Okay.
this gives us some leverage. Who have an ally in the guard from what I can control. And should the queen, as you said, with whatever she was up to, she will need to go through the criminal. So it may be in our best interest should you expand your empire here. Either have the other families work with you or you lord over them. There's only tier 1 families here. The previous owners were tier 1 pinnacle. But if someone would get second tier, they would certainly.
Big Cheese Talisk, I think if we take over the other families, that might be enough to upgrade. And I'm looking for like the little icon of where it says like Parabellum like level to raise the Parabellum to the next level.
Yeah. That sounds good. The family, Frederick's family, and Frederick himself. Do you know what happened to them?
As I told you, has been transferred at this point to.
Oh, he's already been transferred?
Yes.
Oh man, I didn't know what happened yet. I thought he was like in a maybe a long paperwork process.
And due to the anger the king had, his family is not permitted to leave. The queen is not.
That's right.
Hear me out.
That.
What if we hire his wife to be one of our bartenders?
Well, as long as no one finds out that she still lives here, or maybe we could be like, we don't care. We're the criminal organization.
Like, we could need alcohol supplies, and she may have to go to another town to get it every now and then.
We'll figure out something.
Was it not the issue that she was not allowed to leave, so keeping her here and hiring her would actually benefit her? Because we are not beholden to the laws of the town being a criminal organization. We could hire them and make sure that they are okay.
The captain here goes, and the king would want that to be kept secret. That would be viewed as not offering protection, which would mean there could be some manipulation that we could pull off further.
Yeah. Okay. We need a way to get in contact with them so that they can come here.
Are not Ursa's slaves good enough to tell them?
Ursa looks at you with tearful eyes. We're both slaves.
I turn to look at Ursa and I shift into Eloise. I'm like, she looks like this. Can you send her a message to come to the Ironstein mine? And her daughter.
What is the message besides come to the Ironstein mine? Does she know you by name?
Yeah, we introduced ourselves. Yeah, so you can.
She thinks for a moment. I do have 2 guards who've been getting on my nerves. I think if I can put them at the house and suggest heavily to them they take any offer that is offered, maybe you could take them on as well.
Oh.
They have no families. Remember I told you before the big deal when you fail on your line of duty?
Right, yeah.
So if you take them, this guard is guarding them, but if I put 2 guards and they turn coat with them, that would alleviate that problem.
What is your problem with these men exactly? That they would make good criminals? Or that we would want them?
Some of the guards were already being paid by these folks.
Yes. First of all. Secondly, they've just been rather lazy. It's been 5 years. They haven't risen up at all. They're a drain on our resources. And so it may not be great, but from our last conversation, we all seemed not very comfortable with the idea of the actions causing people to be executed.
Wait, was that a qualm you all had?
Oh.
Is it a qualm you don't have?
We don't want to hurt innocents. We might kill mob people, but we don't hurt innocents.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that somebody for failing should just be killed.
Oh, yes, you did mention this of the Frederick fellow. I understand now.
Right.
I thought you were just not wanting criminals to be punished.
Oh.
It slipped my mind. I apologize.
I'm okay with sending the 2 guards to the house.
I think it's more Big Cheese that the commander wants you to take them into the family.
Well, they could be like on probation, like a trial. Like,
Wait,
we'll see if they're worth.
As hirelings, not family members. No. But just they work for the family.
Yeah.
And of course, provide for them what they would need. Which just keeps them, and they don't have children to shame or dishonor. Their parents have passed away already.
Okay. What are their names?
Yes, that would be Cracking and Shorty.
Cracking and Shorty.
Charity.
Charity.
Oh,
I
so
also heard Shorty.
yeah.
I was
It
like, they've
was
already
like
got great names for henchmen. Cracking and Shorty.
Let's
But
do it.
Shorty's actually like 6'3".
Kraken and Shorty. There we go.
But is it SHAWTY?
Yeah. Shotty. Kraken and Shotty. Huh. Okay. So. That takes care of that issue. Then I will be looking for instances. Our major issue right now is the Queen is going to attempt to take more power. And I'm sure somehow attempt to produce an heir.
Oh, right.
Okay, so who knows about herbs that can make someone infertile? What? I read it in a book. I did not
Ursa-
poison anyone's mistress.
Ursa kind of slowly raised her hand, and then when you said poison anybody's mistress, she immediately kind of puts it down.
Okay.
Me and Ursa are definitely not going to go in the next room and talk about making someone unable to have a baby. Excuse us.
Okay, have fun not doing that. All right. So, do we go look check out this house next?
It is your decision, Big Cheese.
I mean, like the house is gonna belong to someone else, right?
Operating a legitimate front is usually very beneficial.
Yeah. Like, we can figure out what our natural skills are and put those to use as a front.
But you keep telling me not to steal.
Okay, maybe you shouldn't be the one in charge of the legitimate business portion of the endeavor.
So, as we put these into motion, you tell me what type of intelligence you need on what I know of the guards and the criminal undertakings that come across my desk. It will very much depend on whether you wish to, I guess, take over and bring them all under your family, from what you all said, or simply have them recognize your family as superior.
I don't want to make a snap decision on that right now.
Was wise. So we must move quickly, however.
Right.
So when you do know, I guess we have our meeting place, and let me know when we have a place that's a bit more secure. Anything else you need from me? I try to see. Things will be moving quickly now, as far as the Queen.
Right. Oh, I don't know. I'll just ask. Where does the Queen get all of her information? Who's her source? Her source is.
If not, well, we did determine that Frederick was one. I assume she uses similar means. On others, possibly blackmail, or she's done this to a few, I'd imagine. I haven't been able to do too many inquiries lest you start to realize. And especially of recent events, I'm not necessarily on the greatest standing, though I've not been demoted. But I can't afford suspicion being put on me by her.
So is it your preference that our relationship remain anonymous?
Well, yes, the god and the newest
want to make sure.
and the newest murdering family.
Right. I just didn't, because in the event that the queen just like decides to come after you, I thought our name could possibly be a deterrent against that. But
we could work that up, and she may approach you or have a proxy do so for different tasks as well, which you can determine. Spread your own rumors and word about what that would be.
Okay.
This makes sense. Kind of things. We also need to. The larger thing we may end up having to deal with is if we prevent this child, then there will be no heir when the king perishes. And we will have to either deal with the preserve or somehow stand on our own 2 feet.
has there been any interest from other kingdoms besides this queen that are looking to maybe gain favor with the queen and have a child of their own? Because right now she doesn't have any competition.
Other queens? No, it's been. This kingdom's important. I don't even understand the High Queen's interest in this.
Oh.
It's partially why I believe the king has been so enamored. Is this over amount of attention of someone who is much higher standing than him.
Right. Okay. Right.
Well, does it necessarily have to be the king's bloodline? Like, what if someone overthrows the king? Does that count?
I'm in.
Oh, I'm in is what Kim said. Okay, I thought there. She kind of pauses. I remember something slipped at a dinner one night that I said I didn't hear about. The current family had overtaken the right of the blood from another.
Oh.
The only thing I knew is it had something to do with something on the preserve. But it was some very hot pork was spilled on the person's lap before they could continue, and that was about it.
So just saying you're the king doesn't make you the king. You have to have a special connection to the preserve.
Possibly. I'm not exactly sure. I do know the Crown family has been here for at least 400 years.
Oh.
Well, whatever happened quite long ago, but the family did seem aware of it. I don't know if the princess was.
Big cheese to ask, if we somehow manage to find something within the preserve that could attune to you, then that would certainly level up the family.
Yeah. Good notes. Yep.
Big cheese to king. I like it.
Oh God. Okay. Any other questions from anybody? Okay. Then I guess we'll go take a look at this house from the address you gave us. Sound good, everybody?
We'll have to put on disguises or cover ourselves.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm very good with a disguise kit.
What about this, as I bring it up in the HUD? Aura of the heartless murderer. Do you not think that people will just avoid us?
And she speak up again. She goes, "You, I wouldn't come near the palace or barracks, but certainly walking around city, the guards won't accost you necessarily. It's not. unless you had committed something currently. You murdered criminals who,
Right.
and I had already been preparing since we had talked that there was a dispute in crime family. This change is not something we root out simply because people needed a place to gamble, even though that might not be continuing, it seems. Unless you can begin something. But the point being that, again, as long as you kind of stay out of their way, and I assume figure out who needs their bribes renewed.
Right. I had two questions I thought of. One, how far away is this house thereabouts? Should guess a minute's
There's a walk about 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay, 15. And the other question, was there anyone else in the city that was trying to do any kind of gambling?
There was the Rouletta family. That's had been theirs turned more into a you could say they mostly began things on odds of various things happening around the kingdom, amount of guards who fall asleep on duty at any given time, more booking agents, bookies. But I would imagine they would be wanting to get into it, so they hear the fall and just a new family here.
See some opportunities there. Okay. Good enough. Thank you.
Tlask,
Mhm.
perhaps it would be easier if Eloise was go to the house. Perhaps that could be our new front, so to speak.
Well, my understanding is that the house is whatever we set up at the house is going to be the legitimate business, and then whatever we set up here is going to be kind of the criminal enterprise aspect of it. I'm okay with.
From what I recall of you mentioning last night, she is not allowed to hold a job.
Right. And so that's why I was thinking, like, if she was down here, then we could just keep her job a secret, or a secret, and anybody that tries to
Question it can be
or report it.
Meet the true heartlessness of the Parabellum.
Yeah. But I don't think she'd be able to work at the house. Unless you had a different idea, Ursa.
No, I was just determining where to have her meet with us.
Oh, right. Yeah. That is a good point, though. If we're going to the house right now, then maybe we should wait to send her a message until we're back here so that we're not gone when she tries to come meet us. Does that make sense?
Yes. Additionally,
Huh?
Are we going to remain with the mining aspect of the name subterfuge with our organization?
Oh, you mean the name of the tavern?
Correct.
I mean, I could understand why that fit when there were the dwarven Lux folk. I don't know anything about mining, so we might need to rebrand.
Are there actual functional mines here?
I don't know. I didn't see any.
Because, like, if we have functional minds, that's our, like, legitimate business.
They were abandoned. That could be something you investigate if you wanted to try to see what that might look like.
Like, depending on what type of mind is, I think, like, our healer over there would like it if they don't have to pay to save our asses.
Matt, were the abandoned mines, was the entrance connected to this tavern?
Yeah, they're connected generally.
Okay.
And just really simple, this is like where all the main forces were. Anything else is, they've either scattered or weren't overly loyal or main pieces of this group.
Okay.
Because there's a few people who ran out when you guys were invading anyway.
Right,
It was
right,
sort
right.
of like, oh, these are like the not as connected.
But not the bartender.
Yeah. No.
Nope. Surely not the bartender. All she did was tend the bar. We'll need to get a new one of those.
Yeah, we need a new one.
So I'm saying, maybe, Eloise knows how to tend a bar.
Makes sense to me.
I guess the question is, do we want to attempt to keep the underground gambling?
Oh, okay.
Do you know how much money they make?
Right, but my idea, because me personally, I don't know anything about how to run an underground gambling den. Like, I don't know anything about it.
I can be your number one in that one.
But there is another family that already knows all of that, right? This roulette family. And
so we take them over and we bring them under our wing.
Right. So we just let them do what they're already good at. And we encourage them to fill in now that there's a vacancy. That we don't try to stop them. We just make them pay us to do it.
And just to be clear, the stick would be if they don't pay us, then we kill them.
Yeah.
I mean,
is it a stick if you'll really do it?
I just want to know, like we just went from shocked that we own a criminal organization to let's kill people to get what we want. I'm fine with that. That's a logical jump for me. That is logical, and I can reason that. I just wanted to make sure that you all were okay with what you were saying.
Okay, my thought was that, yes, that they would assume, I think, knowing what we just did, that if the stick would be us killing them, but we could probably get, like, you catch more flies with honey, that's a saying, right? Like, we could probably get a better motivator than if you don't do what we say, you die. Like, we give them...
We are potentially looking for a partnership where we both benefit.
Just for clarification, am I killing them or am I not killing them?
Well, not right away. Not at least not. I mean, if they try to take us over, then yeah, I think we have to kill them. But if we're business partners, maybe.
Okay.
Well, so then we don't plan on actively running the gambling.
I don't know how. I think I'd mess it up immediately and lose more money than I gained.
And we used to know somebody who would probably be great at this.
No, I was thinking that the whole time.
Two somebodies. Probably. They both spend enough time. Well, then we need to figure out what our crime is going to be.
I did give you 6 syndicate types.
Olivia just has Bellaman running the gambling as a zombie.
Thanks, Matt. This is helpful.
Ooh,
That is very helpful.
Are these
body
the only
catchers,
ones
I
we
think.
can do?
They're not. You can
Okay.
pitch something. This is from Tasha's syndicate.
Guys, what if we're underground? What if we're like out of the not were the secret healers, because I think we've got like 3 of us or 4. Actually, no, like 5 of us can heal. So like you come with us, you come to us with your sick, and then we'll heal you, but then you owe us a favor.
Oh, like the underground hospital thing.
Yeah.
You
I
got
like
a really
'Cause we can-
bad purse.
We can
I can
feed a
cure
lot
it
of
for
people
you.
with 3 druids casting Goodberry.
You found out that those types of spells are not common or in the area, so that is.
I like it. I like that thinking because if we can get the city, like the commoners, on our side, then they'll be more likely to like protect, like not sell us out. I didn't mean like
Yeah.
physically protect us, but like
Not if we get the commoners outside and the king dies, you're so much more likely to become king.
Especially if we can find whatever is within the preserve that granted him this lineage gift.
yeah.
And if we're healers, then the other families won't necessarily want to be our enemies because if they get hurt, they would need like
become
healers.
We become
I
the
read that in
medical
a book.
corps.
Yep.
That's like they went from criminals to the freaking.
It's not so much that; it's just going like
It's actually
a lot
So-
of people like view the medical industry as like the evil pharmaceutical, but you're making the evil pharmaceutical company
We're
in real
becoming
time
big
of the
pharma.
society.
We're becoming big pharma.
That's what I'm laughing about. I'm seeing where this is going.
So after killing this family, we then came up with this scheme about healing people.
Yeah.
I just want to.
With
I
Goodberry.
suppose when we came up with the scheme, we didn't have 3 druids. So
So to sound more healing extortion, get a little more criminal.
Yeah, see, before murder was a lot easier with 3 rogues. We did a lot of damage.
I mean, do you know how much places charge for a lesser restoration?
I had another thought that, depending on how taboo it is, may not work. But hey, Livia,
Yeah.
can you talk to dead people?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can talk to dead people that just don't talk back.
Oh, got it. Okay.
She talks to
we stuck
dead
people for a while.
She talks at dead people.
Well, no, I was just thinking, like, oh man, this is dark. Like, at least in my mind, it is like it. So sometimes you don't get closure, right? When a loved one dies. But if you could ask them just like a couple questions, like, "Hey, what was the password to the safe with all our money in it?" kind of thing.
Sorry, this is Monday all over again.
Now we're taking over the medium criminal outlet.
Yep.
But what if all they want is a hug? Then she can do that.
We're becoming that town from Monday's campaign.
I'm just throwing out thoughts. I'm just spitballing.
You're definitely our leader.
All looks good. We should go ahead and take our break, and then we will come back afterwards. righty. All right, so now that we are here, cool. So we can move on to precisely what we want to go. What avenue do y'all want to start to take?
I think the next thing was the house, and I think you mentioned that that would be another bastion for one of us to take, and that we would see about making that the law-abiding enterprise.
Yeah, you could do a B&B or whatever you want.
That's where we do our pro bono medical stuff.
Yeah.
That's our soup kitchen / so we help the really poor guys, but the criminals, we charge them,
Yeah.
leg.
And the rich people. Yeah.
And the rich people, yes. But like the people like the woman that we're looking after, like that's where we send them to be like, oh hey, look, if you need help, go to this place.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want our pro bono business to be up front, especially if we're gonna have what's her name work for us. She can't work here at the house.
No, she wouldn't be working at the house. She'd be working at the base.
She's just an example.
Which is where we would do our pro bono work and our illegal work. We want the rich people to pay. They don't want to, that.
Oh, you're right.
Because then they would just take it out of the poor people.
Mm.
They have to pay more taxes.
Yeah, capitalism. That's where we're going.
We're becoming Brennan Lee Mulligan's favorite enemy. BBEG's capitalism.
How many pies can we put fingers in?
Okay, so yeah, check out the house here. It is well maintained, though there is a note stuck to an outer fence. It's made of a nice pine wood that's been painted. It simply says, I was a housekeeper. If you still need my services, that's great. If not, I get it. Do not kill me, please. Leave a note if I should be scared of my life or not, maybe. You can tell they're very nervous when they wrote it. But the house is, as I described, a fairly modest room with 5 bedrooms, kitchen, and with a bathroom's appropriate. The property itself is actually fairly large. That's been fenced in, so there's like room for expansion and some other things as well. And currently, the deed itself, the property is called the Way House.
I believe this would be a fine bed and breakfast.
True. Real quick, Matt, do we know the tourism level of this place, of this kingdom? Didn't they say that not a lot of people come here, or was I just imagining?
Correct, yeah. There's not a large amount of people.
Right.
There has been people known to have to come in for like different things to maintain and to work on the preserve. So it's more of like potential like business interest. Those would be the most way somebody might come in. Merchants come delivering things. As far as like travelers from other cities, not as much. Though it could be people coming from the wilderness or from anyone coming might come from like an outlying village that just has been protecting itself and is coming to city to do business.
Okay. I don't know how profitable a bed and breakfast would be, because one thing that we learned since we came here was that this place doesn't get a whole lot of foot traffic from outsiders. And so I'm not saying definitely no bed and breakfast. I was just thinking, what if, so we know that the queen is invested in the sacred preserve for some reason, right? So what if we came up with a business where she would come to us to help with the sacred preserve? So we advertise ourselves as specialists for something that the sacred preserve needs, and then maybe the queen, because that's the lifeblood of this kingdom, is the sacred preserve. So if we can get a business venture that's also involved there, then I think that improves our longevity. That's
You
my
mean
thought.
maybe like an animal hospital?
I mean, yeah.
We have 3 druids. Why not?
Although, because we arrived in the preserve, and it kind of seemed just like they were reintroducing all those owlbear cubs back out into the wild. So they do bring the animals into the city for some reasons.
So you want us to become breeders?
Yeah, that's where I was about to go to.
I mean, I was just I don't have a specific thing. I was just throwing out the concept, and then hoping we could spitball ideas on how to make it possible if we thought it was all thought it was a good idea.
We have all this land, so we could be breeders and an animal hospital.
Yeah, I want to reiterate. I think this session is a lot of discussion, so everyone get in here probably on a lot of direction that's going to happen the rest of the nights. So things like, are we breeders? What do we do with these other families? This healing racket that you're thinking of. So everyone jump in, because that will shape a lot comes from this, basically. If you want a critical role thing, this was like when they were trying to decide between the gentleman's thing in CR2 and whether they were going to go and be people of the government. And that shaped the entire campaign from there. Right. So this is what this kind of feels like. So just to encourage people to understand that, because there's a lot that will happen from this.
I like the healing racket personally.
And not all this is either or either. Right? So
right.
But I also do want to see if maybe we find something within the preserve that somehow tied to the king, and we take that over.
Yeah, it does seem like whatever it is that the queen is after that's involved with the preserve is the big question, I think. And if we can find information about it, or the answer to what is so special about the preserve, that will help solidify our survival.
Well,
you
go ahead.
No, the only other thing I was gonna say is that, like, they told us not to tell people we had powers unless we were gonna help people. So we could also kind of set up a little school to teach, and then maybe raise the level of this town.
That was another important thing that I didn't tell you guys about how if you decide to take on an apprentice, you're not allowed to leave the city. Oh, but that was before we were owners of the criminal enterprise, so who knows if that still stands.
But perhaps we open up this place as something in association with the preserve. Perhaps teach others to take care of the animals there.
Do you know how to take care of the animals there?
I know how to take care of some animals.
Because I can tell you what we encountered. There were owlbears and displacer beasts and a huge bird, a rock.
And really annoying mosquitoes.
Yeah, and the blood sucking mosquitoes. There's probably a bunch of other stuff. So if you're knowledgeable about those kind of creatures, then
I think we
The
kind
Rock, perhaps not. Owlbears, more so.
So I see three opportunities that are presented to us, and they don't have to be exclusive. We have the criminal organization. We open up a business here. 2 out of us can actually go to the castle and the preserve, where the rest of us could maybe not. And I hear that unfortunately the keeper of all the animals has passed. So maybe 2 druids who would be interested in that position could gain us access to that as well, in which you could then search for whatever it is in the sanctuary that will make the big cheese king.
Yeah. Present yourselves as specialists to help with the preserve. I like that.
And then later, if you're on an expedition, we could be your muscle, carrying your tents around. And
So how do we get a introduction with the powers that be who are in charge of assigning responsibilities for the preserve?
I believe that would be our commander friend,
Yeah.
perhaps.
you do have to watch out for the little girl and her daggers, though.
She's fun.
So yeah, if we can get them to put us at least in some sort of position that deals with the preserve, I think that'd help get us information, important information. Any other ideas on what to do with this house?
I think it would be interesting to potentially, as somebody suggested, start agreeing to stick around to teach some people some things to help raise the level of the town.
Yeah.
And perhaps during our expeditions into the preserve, I mean, there might be plants that are worth stuff to take for wizards.
Yeah.
A little bit of a black market.
Yeah.
Of stuff that can't be reached.
I like it. So what do we think we could teach here?
Not healing magic, because that would ruin our business.
Right.
How about a little bit of late healing magic, like when you can't heal someone and they die and you raise them from the dead?
You want to teach people how to do that?
Perhaps we should not teach
Oh, come
raising
on.
people from the dead.
Like teaching grave robbing.
Listen, I know that maybe you come from a place where that is okay, but typically in the general population, raising people from the dead, not typically okay.
What if we make it okay?
Well, we have to be in charge first, so we can't start teaching that at the beginning.
Oh, so you're
How-
the second in charge. Okay.
No, I'm just saying we could be. We've already
you're
really been
second.
ran out of town once.
I could teach people how to talk to animals.
I think Sharp Cheddar Lunara has a point.
end of this campaign, we're all gonna have cheese names.
I could teach people how to mend small broken objects.
So it could just be like the introductory, the 101 course for magic.
Hear me out. I may or may not have robbed a trade school once. Why don't we open a trade school?
What did you rob at a trade school?
They had shiny objects.
Oh, just in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you were just robbing and it happened to be a trade school. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Got
But
it.
that
Okay.
way, like, we all could teach basic things. Like, someone could teach animal stuff.
Would people, does only raising the magic level of the people increase the level of the town, or is making them more proficient in tools or skills
Well,
equally?
I see what you mean. From my understanding, one of the kind of defining traits of this place is that it didn't have a lot of magic. And I wonder if that kind of had an influence on the town's grade.
I see.
Like if other bigger, more populated cities had higher level magic that might influence their standing, perhaps. But what I was thinking is that the magic school, we wouldn't have any competition, right? If it was a trade school, we might be competing against other people. But
That's a valid point.
the magic school, that'd just be us doing our thing.
From what you said, Commander, I forget her name.
Oh, Gringon,
Gringon.
yeah.
Said that would require a year's amount of tutelage.
You got
Yeah.
plans to be somewhere in a year?
Was also what they may have thought based on their worldly, whether their perspective, what's normal.
Okay. So, like, we might be able to teach people cantrips in a lesser amount of time than a year.
Potentially, but two, keep in mind that even if we say that takes a while, that doesn't mean necessarily we have to play through all of that.
Okay, gotcha.
There could be this time of, hey, we spend the next 3 months in town and we do this.
Gotcha.
Kind of like we draw a lot of things to anime in this campaign, but it's kind of like that happens a lot. Like,
Yeah.
oh, these last 3 months have been
Montage.
crazy. Thank you so much, Master. These 3 months, I've learned this and whatever.
I'm all for that.
Which is downtime in D&D, right? So it is. There's room for that. And we'd probably go, hey, if we're doing this, we might identify like, here's a primary adventure or mission you probably had to undertake during this, and we'll play that out, and then things would kind of form around it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm.
So I just want you to think, oh, 1 year, oh no, this might be done after 3 years of gameplay. That's not what we're doing in this, because times are going to be very different in this one because of that.
So far, I'm in favor of the minor magic school idea.
As our legitimate business,
Right.
use the druids to gain access to the preserve,
Right.
to search for whatever will make you the king, as well as potential herbs that can be sold on the black market. And then we do our healing for criminal organizations as our criminal enterprises.
Oh. Right.
And the way I'm somewhat going to arbitrarily do, if you do want to do the magic, is right now you could teach cantrips. At 5th level, people can learn up to level 1 with you. And then every time you can learn a higher level spell, you can teach a higher level spell, basically.
I'm for that. That's cool.
That's cool.
So I am no help with your magic school.
No, but you have an understanding of how a criminal organization works.
Yes. But also, I was thinking I could teach people how to find traps that are magical, because if they have the cantrips, they're going to be running into magical situations.
Yeah.
I like it.
Every adventuring party needs one person who can't do shit.
What
You know,
what
there
curses
is.
do you have?
I'm sorry, what?
Which of your blood? Because you could potentially teach blood curses.
Oh, that's true. I forgot I could do that.
Oh god.
Look,
May-
last
may-
week I forgot that I had sneak attack. This week I'm forgetting that I have blood.
Start
Maybe
to
you
learn how to
teach-
turn people to blood hunters.
My God,
Maybe you teach the criminals, like we
I
heal,
got
and then the ones
muddled
you
mind.
like.
I was going to say, you can definitely work on helping us build up the organization itself.
Oh,
for sure.
100%. I'll do that.
You can find the young bad kids in the street. You start training them. Be loyal to the family. I'm not a cult leader, I swear.
Sure you are.
Okay, I need to questions for the next meeting with the commander. Damn, I've already forgotten the first one. I had it, and it's gone.
Don't
Let's
leave
run
me
down.
out here for the booze.
Oh, who we need to talk to get an introduction for the sacred.
To try and get our druids as caretakers for animals in the preserve.
And
Yeah. Since
Wait.
the princess died.
You still have. You're not protected by the pathway, right?
I don't think I think that's just gone forever.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that just resets after.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's probably fine.
We'll just have to be extra careful. Unless you want to go by yourself. That seems more dangerous.
But the other idea I had is like, who do the townspeople currently go to for healing? Like, whose toes are we going to be stepping on?
Well, if they have no magic here, then it's going to be someone who can make potions. So why don't we just hire them?
Or maybe they just have like a physician, like a town doctor, like just a regular guy who maybe spent the majority of their life studying medicine.
Then we
And-
hire them for aftercare.
I think that if our plan is to heal criminal organizations and people who can't afford a doctor, who cares whose toes we're stepping on?
See, this is why you're sharp chatter.
Because the poor folks aren't going to be going to this person anyway because they can't afford it. And the criminals aren't going to go to them because, well, I don't know, we assume that people will get arrested for committing crimes and having physical evidence of wounds on their body to tie them to the crime.
Right. I was just thinking if we're making a potential enemy, I'd at least like to know who it is.
I mean, we could find that out. Well, we
Right.
also need to find out what the other families do.
Yeah.
So there's still that research we need to do. But as far as the businesses go, like, are we agreed on what we're going to do?
Right. I was just trying to make a list of things that I need to ask the commander about.
Yeah.
Okay, so find out what the
Yeah,
current.
I'd really like to know what you want to ask the commander.
Lots of things. I hope she's, got time.
I'd appreciate it.
Why? I mean, you have to come up with those answers or something?
Well, because we're learning what we want to do here, and so
I'm just
so
kidding.
I'm learning too, and so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
good. This is why I can kind of know what
Totally
we need to get going here. Good.
We also want to know how the town feels about maybe or maybe not raising undead.
Yeah, we don't even know if they have a cemetery. Maybe they just cremate everybody.
But that's a waste of resources.
Is it?
I mean, back me up.
I mean, burning dead bodies is such a waste of energy and everything. I mean, there's a cost of burning bodies while you can just make them like work and stuff.
Oh. So you want to replace the working class with undead?
Well,
You know, I don't think the citizens are going to be for that.
Maybe just the ones that have like the really dangerous jobs, like going out and getting the bear cubs so they can mate. We replace those with the undead.
So many awful ways this can go.
Listen, again, how many people in how many places do you know we're okay with undead?
Well,
Oh,
so far this
where-
group has been.
Yeah,
What's that, Livia?
yeah, where I was from, they're not okay with undead. That's why I agreed to join this.
so they're not
'Cause
okay.
I thought, no, like I was a paladin. Everyone was not okay with undead. And I thought, wow, necromancy was pretty cool. So maybe I should find some place else where I can do that.
Let me guess. Our friend told you that this would be a great place for that.
Exactly.
Surprises me that you all believe anything that man says.
Okay. I got sidetracked. I gotta write down the
I
question.
mean, I guess we could really try and see how people feel about undead.
It can't hurt to ask, right?
Yeah. Remember what you learned too is that as you advance here, there is like prestige you could earn, and that might influence.
I did say later. Like I said,
yeah.
later. Maybe not start with raising the dead.
Okay, so far there's finding out kind of how people get healed now. You want to know a little bit what these other families do, what type of crime is
Crime.
happening. Okay, and I know, look, you're writing, so I hope I get a message later, but I'm just trying to get us the things that we need to know. Once you know, what else of things are you wanting to do or need to know, so we can get this like list of the preserve thing.
Yeah, finding out how to get druids on the list of people who can go through it.
And so now, Mason, you were talking about trying to do something with like making a whole like preserve company, right?
Yeah, potentially, but that was more just permission from the castle. Like, because if we have a company, then we somehow managed to get permission from the castle to be roaming the preserve without like it being an issue.
Yeah.
So that way we could potentially find whatever is in the preserve that tied to the king's lineage to then bring Big Cheese up to royalty level.
To King
I mean,
Cheese.
as a note, I mean, you know, a lot of guards just failed doing their job in the preserve, so a private contractor may have a good bid.
Yeah.
especially without a princess especially without having to protect the princess.
And these private contractors just happen to be able to talk to animals.
And these private contractors happen to be able to return the body of the princess.
Those private contractors are wanted by the kingdom.
Gosh.
I do want to write a quick letter to I think they said they were the gardener or the current housekeeper or the past housekeeper that left a note for us. Real quick, do we want to keep that person on? They're probably doing a good job before. Is there any reason not to?
Why don't we check out the inside of the house, see how clean it is, and then decide?
Okay.
It's clean.
Oh, good. So are we okay with keeping this person on?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I was good with keeping the bartender too, but
They knew too much.
they knew too much.
That was an
That would have been
accident.
useful.
It was an accidental murdering.
I know. But depending on how we want to set up the school, it would be worth having somebody who could, keep it clean and maybe prep meals for the students.
Yeah. Okay. I'll write him a letter that says we would like to retain their services.
Okay.
Maybe we could set up a time for them to meet with us tomorrow here.
Yeah, I'll add that.
Okay, so currently I have your two places down are comfortable establishments, which means that they will require 2 gold a day to maintain. That includes the housekeeper, getting the housekeeper to do these things. 4 gold total a day to maintain the 2 of them.
We're easily gonna make that off of like 1 illicit heal.
Okay, so did the person in charge of the house, did that show up for anybody? Like when it asked me if I wanted to be in charge of the base, like the thing popped up and I had to.
Oh,
admit
that's
my
going to
name.
show up to whoever holds the deed.
Oh,
Ring.
who wants
Got it.
that?
It's actually more like a use item menu.
So yeah,
I think I had it last, but I'm happy to hand it to somebody if they want it.
Do you think Sharpshooter Lunara is the best front for the legal side of things?
They're the one with a conscience.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay, they're the one with more of a conscience.
Well, she certainly is the fiercest one of us. For one
That
so
was
small.
Jonathan talking, not Mason.
Either way, I was doing a look. I was like,
Wow.
I'm not entirely sure if she can reason, if she can logic and reason a bad thing, she'll do it.
I'm okay with Lunara having the deed to the house.
Okay. There are no objections. I guess I will use the item.
Yes. You're now in charge of the Way House.
Oh, are we changing the name? Are we rebranding for our new business venture?
You can change the name if you want, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like I can go back here and change it later
Oh, okay.
after we decide what we're going to call the place.
Got it.
But we only have 24 hours to do that.
Oh, okay.
How about it's all
Otherwise,
good?
it's locked in. What were you saying, Cam?
I said we could call it It's All Gouda.
Why is your school called It's All Gouda? Because it's
Well,
all
'cause
Gouda.
that's the big cheese and that's sharp cheddar. I blame Mason.
All right. So what else?
I guess. How do we spread word that we're starting this illicit healing business?
I think once we find out who these other families are and what they're doing, we could potentially set up meetings with some of their heads.
Or if there's a family that we find that is really unappetizing in how they do things, we take them out just to be like, hey, we're happy to heal, but if you cross XYZ line, we have no qualms with showing you the heartlessness of the Parabellum.
Yeah, we'll teach them why we have this aura.
I
Make an
am
example of a
perfectly fine
more
doing that, but we literally just killed a whole bunch of people.
yeah.
But I think if we killed 2 crime families, that really drives the point home.
Well, you know, because they weren't there, they didn't see it happen, so maybe there's some doubt.
You know, we kill all but one, then we heal that one so that
That's
they know
right.
that we can heal. Then we tell them they have to join our family too, but just that one. And then so then they'll know that we will kill you, but we can also heal you if you're our ally.
If there's we get one and we beat him up and heal him, and then beat him up again and heal him, and we just this was the champion, and then at the end of it we throw them in front of their family and they look perfectly fine, so it looks like they haven't been fighting at all, but they look super tired.
Yeah.
Oh, this is totally where the undead come in. You
That's
can
true.
ally with us, you can die, and then you can serve us.
I like it.
Guys are evil.
That is so evil.
I'm evil.
Like I said, he has the best conscience. I didn't say it was a good conscience. I just said he had a conscience.
It's like, you're gonna serve us one way or another.
I need a moment. With evilness.
I picked the wrong character.
It would be the night that you decide you want to play a good, nice character. Listen,
Okay.
when I made her in my head, she was like a very sweet, naturey, loving person. And when she loaded up, boy, there was a glitch in the system, I think.
Yeah, there was some hidden text.
I think it was the almost getting murdered part.
Maybe
There
I
was a-
accidentally hit a button that changed it to evil instead of good and sweet.
There was a morality button that you forgot to click.
Okay.
The scale slid to just cold logic.
I'm thinking chaotic good. I might should have been chaotic neutral.
So
Above things, I'm keeping track of like our organization funds from like what Matt posted of all the loot from the vault and everything. So I might keeping track of that.
and
I figure we could sell most of the stuff in there. Although I kind of want to keep the 2 potions of water breathing because I don't know that little pouch with the note that reads it's yours if you could reach it sounds interesting.
yeah, this is a little side quest. It's a little distraction.
And if you guys want to keep the barrel of wine so we can drink it, there's always that.
One thing, Molly, to add to that, I don't know if it got, I didn't read it, but there was 60 gold looted throughout that whole thing.
Add
we
that.
We didn't distribute, but I think if we add that to the daily upkeep funds for owning the 2 businesses.
Yeah, we also have like 3 bars, so I don't know if we need the wine.
Well, they don't stock themselves.
That's true. We can just resell it.
Okay. Oh yeah. So, Livia, you can bring back. Just what if when we go to meet the other families, we have the old crime boss with us, but now she's just an undead servant.
Yes, I can do that.
Be like, oh shit, they weren't playing. They really did take over that other place. There's our proof.
That's a great idea, actually.
I don't know if there's like a shelf life on when you have to reanimate her,
or not? 'Cause I
Oh
think
no.
she's-
Whenever we need to, I can do that.
Okay, great.
I just assume you sucked her up in your bag.
Oh yeah, I stuff all the bodies in my bag.
Just a vacuum cleaner. Just,
Yeah. That's a great way to get rid of bodies too.
It's true. It's true. And you know what? I kind of want to figure. So, okay, in the room that had the giant dinosaur lizard thing, there was like 2 holes in the ceiling, and I still don't know what those were for. So I think there's things to find out about our base still that we don't know about. But I did think of just taking that creature's head and mounting it on the wall. Just
Sure.
But I do know that the decorations and decor is like the options there can just go on and on and on. And on. That's for another time. That's down on the task list. That's important.
Yeah.
So I can definitely let you have that particular asset. If you have it in a meeting room, you get an advantage on intimidation. The big.
Nice.
And though some things that you'd be able to figure out, the holes in the top of the ceiling, you go trigger to a portal trap that was in the room with the feed and a lot of the molars. And if you stand in the center of feed, portals open up to that below room, and it look like that's could be where get that potentially. It was set up so that those mole creatures would go to get food, a portal would open up, and the monster could get up and grab one
Oh.
and eat live stuff. And that would have happened to you all if you had gone into the center.
Oh.
We didn't do that.
Cool.
That's also a good way to get rid of bodies.
Do we know if the portals still work to those rooms?
They do seem to be still
Oh,
operational.
I was 100% going to go test it out for you. There's no big monster to eat me.
When you say portal, Matt, you mean magic portal or just an opening?
It's an opening, but there is like a certain there's a magic flow to it.
Okay.
So you can see, because you put a lot of money from them for this place, so it is. They did have some of this magic happening here.
Okay.
So you get that there's probably a little bit more magic in the underworld than there is in the everyday life.
Yeah.
Families, do you think we're separated because the guards made a mistake? Because we need like a lot of employees to run our bars.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of
Do we?
undead.
That's true too. We could have an undead bar.
Oh, there's only so many I can control.
Oh, okay.
At some point, will you be able to make them sentient, that you don't need to control them?
That's an interesting thought.
Belle would have loved running a
What
den.
is it? I think it's the white that can make some others for you. And control them in your stead.
Okay.
But if we teach other necromancers, then we'd have enough necromancers that would have dead people to run an undead bar.
Okay, that is a good question. Are we all going to kind of be equally in charge of teaching classes, or how do we want to do the legitimate side of it? I mean, I know a fair amount of cantrips.
Cam cannot teach, so
I could
Just
teach
that.
curses if you let me bite people.
Well, I thought you were teaching like magical trap.
Well, I could do that too,
well, that's
but
right. That's right.
I mean, if you let me bite people, I think I could teach curses.
I have two things I could teach. One that is magical and one that is more from within with meditation that does not require magic, but a focusing of your ki.
Oh. Let's see, I have exactly 8 things I can teach.
So I have elemental attunement, which is like one of the it's the pseudo cantrip of Way of the Four Elements Monk. It's like a prestidigitation kind of.
That's why he's headmaster Big Cheese.
And I'll disguise myself when I'm the teacher.
I'll just transform into like this older gentleman with a white beard, the stereotypical wizard teacher.
That's going to be one of our flyers.
And I switch back.
What? Sorry, I missed it. What did you say?
That's going to be on all of our flyers.
Oh.
That guy right there.
Wait, am I the only teacher?
No,
Oh, okay.
but that just looked like that. You looked very teacher-like, so that'll sell it.
Good. That's what I was going for. Okay. Yeah, okay.
I could also teach a class on like fae, fiends, and undead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I wonder if they have anyone that teaches people about the beasts in the sacred preserve. Like, is that taught in regular school here since it's local?
That sounds like another question.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Do they have regular school here?
Yeah.
Do they have school?
What is the educational system like in Chibnall?
Yeah, anything they have here is of the very basic level. So there's obviously kids are taught to learn and write through some type of group thing and that type of stuff. But a lot of this, like, people are not taught things that can elevate them or their families. So doing something, there is no competition for things that would bring them beyond like common, like reading, writing, arithmetic type of thing.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing that I just remembered. The commander said that, like, people would, to learn magic or to, like, have their children learn magic, people would just give away just crazy amounts of stuff. Like, family treasures that had been passed down for, like, whatever they could to try and earn our favor. So it's just something to be prepared for, that people are going to be, like, clawing over one another to try and get a spot in one of our classes.
So how do we want to deal with billing? Is it a show us your monthly income and we take a percentage, or
Oh, man.
just so it's fair for everyone?
I
I'll
think
start a spreadsheet this week and we can look at it.
right, we should also think about class size, because if everybody and their cousin is going to be throwing themselves to get into a class, like, what's the limit?
I believe a reasonable amount would be perhaps 10 students to a teacher.
Yeah. And do we
How many
screen
rooms
for
does this house have again?
5
5.
bedrooms.
Do we screen for aptitude?
Here's another question: Do we want to be teaching harmful cantrips, or more just the utility cantrips? Because if we arm the entire populace with magic to kill one another, that would definitely change the dynamic of our healing business.
I mean, I only know one deadly cantrip. And I could just not teach that one. That also might earn us some favor points with like the royalty if we're not actively arming the common folk.
I have
At least
3 that I could teach.
it might.
2 being the spells and the 1 being the focusing of ki.
Yeah.
Perhaps the king would be interested in having some of his guards trained in magic.
Perhaps.
Do we do bulk discounts?
Not for the king.
Yeah, if the king is sending guards to be trained, we charge double.
Well, though supposedly the king
Though-
is all his gold on the preserve, so
Oh,
Though we could potentially charge more for if we're teaching the guard damaging cantrips. It's a higher cost
yeah.
to train in that.
Because I think
In
depending
which
on,
case, there's 2 that I could teach.
because I think what'll happen pretty quickly is that the people who can pay the most are gonna try and just pay their way into the school if we make it based on price, right?
This is why I suggested a percentage of income.
Right. But then how do we narrow it down to who gets selected? That's why I was wondering if we test to see if they have any magical capability at all. Because
Tournament.
we just have all the students fight one another to see.
Yeah. The devil understand what levels they are. Like, oh, they basic. They got like a little bit better. And then, oh, they'd quick it on real quick. And then we could charge by level.
I mean, I don't think I need them to fight to figure that out. I think I can just spend 10 minutes touching them on a face and
Why
figure that out.
don't any of you let me have fun?
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking if we like maybe they just have no shot. Like the richest family in town says, "We'll pay you all this money to get our son into the school," and their son is just absolute garbage at magic, like no amount of teaching.
Then you give them to me.
Um,
Because I don't do magic.
that sounds really ominous.
I mean, no.
But no, they're going to be pissed, right? If they paid us all this money and their kid still doesn't learn magic. But that's not our fault. That's their kid's fault. But they're not going to take that for an...
We're not just a school, we're also like the criminal thing. So maybe if they're really angry, they won't really
they
take
won't
it up with
necessarily
us.
know that. But
Right,
if we
right.
get
Oh, very
pushy,
true.
But I
They
was
could always
thinking...
get a visit though from the other one.
Yeah.
Hey,
they could
why
get
are you complaining?
agent. Yeah,
I
an
was also
agent
thinking...
of ours,
All this talking.
aka
If-
PM, could visit them and threaten them.
if we could screen the applicants for their magic potential beforehand, then it would...
Do you have a way to do this?
Well, I've
Big
never
cheese.
identified a person before. I don't know.
Guys. We may be getting too far into the weeds here. This is not going to be actual playthings that we do. Probably we're not gonna role play the training sessions. Probably, so we can decide as a group what our flat fee is going to be, and then we earn that flat fee because we're just. I mean, we've gone too far. Let's. I think that's my opinion. Is maybe we've gone too far, and we need to come back in a bit.
But I can go further.
We are really. Oh,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I do think that a lot of you could take some time and write some stuff out the way that the I think you can see like potential, right? So the base things of cool, this is about how much potential we're looking for. This is, and the way that is, we definitely have fun with that.
We just count their midichlorians and
So I was the same AM, like, do your strongest spell. Ha!
after a week of teaching, they have to do the test.
Yeah.
Naruto fails the clone jutsu.
Yep. Okay, all right.
So is there necromancy talks?
Does Livia have a necromancy cantrip that isn't damage, or is Livia just
I-
teaching the guards?
I mean, I can teach Spark of Life, but that's definitely damage.
Yes! It's so good! I love that cantrip so much.
I remember you using that on the body in front of.
Well, so because you have
called?
this school motif, right? School can still be your big thing. So that could be like the darker end of the school that's teaching people to maybe be part of the criminal, and that's how you're recruiting. And,
Or we have two separate schools.
You know,
We've got
We're,
the
we're using
that's the
our
whole
school
thing.
to recruit.
part of it, right? You could do that where there's like, instead of paying your underlings, you pay them in learning cantrips for a little while. Then eventually they get paid as they become.
If we're
Yeah.
using the
For it.
guard magic, we also have to have our own group that can do magic.
It's true.
And
The
he doesn't
anti-guards.
necessarily have to pay us. We do it as a favor. We have the ear of the guards, so we can also use that to keep the other families in line.
And perhaps there are some young minds that want more than just these simple cantrips. Perhaps they want to learn more magic, and we offer it to them by joining our organization.
So we have
Hmm.
magic school, magic mafia, and we have
Oh, crazy.
and then we have the magic hospital.
We're doing
So those are the three. Do you feel like you want to get rid of one? Like where do you want to go with everything you want to do? I'm okay with it. I just want to try to get where we want to put our efforts. And then there's just the crime in general.
I think personally focusing on the magic school and the magic healing sounds good to me.
Yeah, if we teach the King's Guard attack cantrips, we got to have our mozzarella muscle that also knows their own damage cantrips.
Yeah. Well, you should have to establish your authority here will be through your crimes. The crime does go through.
Yeah.
But as far as what that's right. It was the idea was you were healing people under the table without them knowing what it was. Like, we never saw you here. So your services.
And also we just have a tavern, right? There's just a tavern down there in that base that we're running. Because I mean,
I think you have to pick. Is that one of the rooms you wanted to pick? Because I know it had certain rooms already.
oh right, I just remember we talked about hiring the wife and the daughter to be barmaid. But
So
if
it has
we
a
don't-
kitchen and a dining area, and then I think you get to choose.
Yeah, you can basically have.
Oh,
You
that's-
got.
oh, wait.
You,
That's the house. I don't know what the.
yeah,
Yes.
there's a bar where you could serve and have some things going. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to make that one of the rooms is a tavern, bar room, just a tap room so that we can hire the mom and then hold auditions for bards, performers to come in and play.
Okay. So to help me out, the healing racket here, the main idea is this is charging them a lot to get this service from those of you who can cast spells to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And also doing pro bono for the poor, I believe, was in there.
Right, but that's not really part of the racket.
Right.
That's just something we're going to do to be nice.
Yeah, that could be happening. I think I wanted to focus on the necessity of your thing is people can get their wounds here. So things like someone gets injured on a job or doing different things, then
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, no one can know, and it's all good.
Maybe we like do cure wounds or like healing word on like the ones that were actually like scamming, so to speak, and then we just the like commoners is like, oh, we have this cut, and we're like, oh, just eat this berry, So we don't tell them that we're healing it. We give them a good berry, and they're like, "Oh wow, I feel so much better."
And
Yeah.
who all can do healing then?
I'm raising my
Olivia
hand.
can also do. healing.
Everybody but
Okay,
Cam.
Cam.
I put holes in things. I'm going for Swiss cheese.
Yeah, Cam gives job security.
Wait, are you
Wow.
going to be the Swiss slicer, the assassin of the family?
Yes.
If we're ever running low on people, Cam just goes out there and injures people.
Go to the racket. There it is. Cam causes injuries. That sends people in.
As long as I can be the berry brie.
No, Ursa, you're the feta financier.
Because I deal with the money.
Correct.
Right.
You know, this is not at all the way I thought today was going to go. Would have never. I'm enjoying every minute of it, but I'm just like, how did we get here?
Oh my gosh.
After work, I was feeling kind of bleh. I'm not feeling bleh anymore. I'm having an awesome time.
Okay. So is the causing injury part of the racket here?
I think it has to be at
100% I
this
am
point.
down for that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, even if it's not like dealing damage, like Cam just throws a blood curse on them so that they think that they're sick.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, and then we just kind of like say random words to like lesser restoration.
All right. All right. This is working good because I think what we could do for next session is we can have a briefing with the captain, and they're going to kind of say, here are the opportunities for you to like go forward, and here are some things that. So this is working. Okay, because this is where we're kind of getting campaign stuff in, which I'm loving. Okay, and then we've got your school, whatever you decide to call it. And that you're running is like a legitimate business.
Right.
And is that kind of coming out of the house? That's what we're thinking.
Yeah, that's what we're using
Yes.
the house for. Yep. We're gonna turn it into a school where gifted youngsters can use to hone their. Oh wait, somebody already did that.
Okay.
I mean, we need a danger room in the basement now.
Okay. And actually finding people with talent will be a challenge here. Because that's one thing you know is like talent is lacking as well, not just knowledge here. Because some of what you all know, you're not really knowledgeable. You're talented. You just were born with an innate. Well, your class base anyway was that way, and others through connection. So,
Was digitally created this way.
yeah.
Maybe there are talented people. They just didn't have a way of identifying them before.
Cool. And then, are we still doing our? Well, yeah, you're still doing your guides to the
Preserve.
Yeah, I'll still do that. Because the pathways, I'm still protected by the pathway.
Okay.
Rub
So
it in.
So I've got healing racket, school, preserve guide. Is that our major three foci?
Yes,
I like
I
it.
believe so.
We good with like those we're pursuing?
I'm
Cool.
good.
Yeah.
I'll commit to those.
I can't say it right, but I put what type of cheese are Laverias.
Fromage de mort.
Cheese of the dead.
It's a funeral cheese.
No.
Amazing. Okay. That sounds good.
Overall on patrol. That's just our general soldiers slash associates.
All right.
Send in the provolone.
All right. So in that case, the system will ding and go, new quest. Become a power second only to the throne.
Working our way up to the quest where we take the throne.
How does everybody feel about a democracy?
No, he has to be king.
To be president. President Big Cheese.
Okay, well, it's really up to you. Do you want to have kids or not?
I'm just kidding.
Because then either you have to be a king or you can do a democracy.
Okay.
I'm
And
just kidding.
then, for the purposes, there are. I don't think really in this system, but I think as far as advancement wise, I will consider some of these subs, and we'll have fun things as we go through. But we could do this one of two ways. Next week we could come and she brief you on like the three things, and like you could choose which quest from there, or you could choose the general area you want to pursue first, and then you would just get what you can do to help that area next week. So in the second scenario, you're choosing between probably three different types of quests at first. In this sense, you basically choose the area and you get a quest next week, or a not really quest, but way of pursuing information briefing.
Personally, I think we would benefit from being more focused, but that's just me.
Yeah, no,
I concur.
Choosing now and there where we enter next week with focus.
Yeah. And so my thought is maybe focusing on learning about the other families. What are you all thinking?
I think that's the first step, because if we don't do that, then we really don't know what we're doing with everything else.
So it would be the criminality. We want to start with criminality.
Start with crime. I like it.
Any objections? Okay. Cool. Yeah. I think that was a good word there of like, okay, well, we spent a lot of time talking. Let's end with so we get clear direction next week. Actually, I like that better too, because that way we get a clear pursuit. Very cool.
Fire, it was your turn to use logic and reason.
Oh,
I like it. So you have your levels, you have your two bases of operation. People own them. You're ready with some of these other things. Anything else that we need to figure out?
I don't think so. I don't have anything anyway.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, and I like what I'm liking with the healing racket this way is in it's crime, but it's going to be sort of it could really be neutral or good, chaotic good crime. It's
Like Robin Hood crime?
Unless we break people's legs just to heal them.
I mean, they bad people.
neutral. That's neutral. You go neutral. What was you going to say, Fire?
Oh, I was gonna say if they're bad people, then we're not really,
That's true.
you know.
Into the path. Chaotic good. Yep. I'll be chaotic good. I break the bad people's legs. I heal them, take their money, and eventually there's no more bad crime because they're broke.
Wait, literally?
Yeah. I realized after I was like, oh. All right, and because I think we were at for tonight, we've got some good stuff here. If you're watching, this is where D&D goes sometimes to figure out, especially new campaigns. As we got the first somewhat set track that our people landed on a little bit with some choices along the way, and now their first big steps into helping the kingdom of Farnell here. So, those you watch, thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
Good night.
Night.